There you go. And now you can just minimize your OBS and we should be good.
Alright.
Alright, are we being heard?
I have no idea.
Okay, yep. Alright, I checked the stream, so we're
Okay.
good. Hey. Hi everyone. Sorry for the technical delays. First time streamer here, so.
Yeah.
But we're alright. Elena, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Elena, a sophomore student at OHVA. I am on the league team as a sub support. And that's pretty much it.
Yep, and hello everyone. It's been a while since I've been on here, but I'm Blaze. Back at it again, since Kyle is playing for us tonight. So we've missed a lot of drafts so far, but it's pretty slow because it's tournament draft. So far from the blue side OHVA, we've got three bands. We've got Tom Kench, Ari, and Yumi. And then, so this is pretty good. Forces top lane, mid lane, and support into potential non-comfort picks. And then on red side, we've got Set, Hecarim, Vayne, and Scion, focusing a lot towards top jungle and bot lane. So let's see. So Elena, how are you feeling about this game?
I'm not sure yet. I really haven't seen either team play. I played once. I practiced once with our team, and it's looking pretty good. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, looking like the team comps are so far pretty interesting. Got a Warwick, Jhin, and Ornn
Mm-hmm.
on red side. Ornn and Warwick really focused on engage, and Jhin focused on sitting in the back and doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this will be the first scrim match of the season,
Yep.
which is pretty exciting, getting off to a strong start, hopefully. So Morgana is a champion you like to play a lot. What do you think about that pick into Soraka?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about playing Morgana into Soraka. I played Morgana a lot. She's really interesting, that's for sure. It's a lot of skill
True.
shots, especially with her Q and knowing when to time her spell shield is. It takes some practice.
It does. I completely agree. It can be a little tough for Soraka since she's relatively immobile. So if she's not careful, the Morgana can shut her down, and that comboed with the Jhin, Morgana being one of the best supports to pair with the Jhin,
Yes.
can make it a little difficult of a bot lane. But they also got the Sivir who can absorb those Morgana Qs with the spell shield real easily. Looking like comps have been picked. Fairly squishy comp coming out from OHVA here. Bit focused on burst rather than sustained team fights. And from Private Academy, we've got a bit of a more tanky comp focused on taking the longer fights and poking from a distance.
It'll be an interesting match.
That it will, that it will. Alright. So here in a few seconds, we're going to be waiting for the 3-minute timer since we're spectators. We don't really get to watch right away. To hopefully avoid any potential stream sniping, but I don't think we're going to have any issues.
We shouldn't.
So, no, I don't think so. So yeah, so it looks like we've got a Vex into LeBlanc. LeBlanc's, imagine the Vex is probably better in that lane. I don't know the matchup specifically, but Vex being very control oriented should be really good into the LeBlanc, who's very burst and dash oriented. Vex is good at shutting that down. We got the Echo jungle into the Warwick jungle. Echo being a bit squishier and a bit weaker on the early game, as his clear is not the fastest. Um, but War, but making up for that in his late game burst for sure in survivability, and Warwick kind of being an all game beast if played properly. We got the Ornn into the Volibear top. So that'd be pretty good for both of them. Both of them can take pretty good trades. Ornn is kind of a lane bully, but Volibear is also a lane bully, so that's going to be probably a skill matchup dependent on who is better at taking the trades. And then I've already kind of touched on bot lane. Got anything to add, Elena?
Can't say that I do. You covered it pretty well.
Thank you. So anyone who is watching, Elena is a bit newer to the league scene.
A
So
little bit.
her commentary might be a little less than mine, but she's learning. She's learning. She's made a
That's
lot of
right.
progress since she started.
Well, thank you. We got a lot to learn, though. This is not an easy
I
game by any means.
Nope, 6 years on and I'm still garbage.
I wouldn't say that, but alright.
um, so yeah, looking like it's going to be an interesting matchup. It'll be about in the game here in about a minute.
Yep.
All right. I think we're going to have to keep an eye on some of the more trading base lanes. Mid lane's going to be an interesting one to watch.
Mhm.
I have a feeling top lane will probably be pretty aggressive too, depending on how aggressive the Ornn is. And yeah, from there, I don't think bot lane will be too aggro from blue side, OHVA.
It's probably going to be a very pokey lane.
Yeah, I completely agree. Red side is going to look to push that advantage anytime possible.
Yeah.
Morgana and Jhin very good at pushing the enemy bot lane off waves. But Sivir being a good pick into it, comfort pick for Delphic here. And, you know, with that spell shield, being able to stop a lot of the heavy CC that comes out of that lane. Be pretty interesting, that's for sure.
Yep.
But here we go. Here in a few seconds, we'll be hopping in. Alright. So now we're in loading screen.
Yep. We got some interesting skins out.
Yeah, we do. Some high quality ones here.
Yeah.
Personal favorites like True Damage Echo, wonderful skin. Got that signed IG LeBlanc. Pay extra for that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I'm assuming the Ornn is going top lane as opposed to the LeBlanc, but maybe not. I've seen weirder things. So if you just press D, Elena, or just let it go with the directed camera, it'll do most of the work.
Okay. I do believe I'll just let it go on directed camera for a little bit.
Yeah, it's usually the easiest way of doing it. If you're not super experienced with it, it'll focus when fights are happening. It might miss things sometimes, so that's usually when you want to take over.
Alright.
If it misses some good fights, so just keep a little bit of an eye on the minimap.
Alright.
But other than that, it should be easy. See some strong vision coming out from blue side here.
Yeah.
Got the Echo pushing up to get control over that river bush, whereas it looks like red side does not. Backing to trade his ward out for the Oracle Lens, a very typical jungle move.
Minions have spawned.
See all the laners in their strategic positions to watch the flanks,
Now
avoiding any engages.
we see a wild Warwick.
Yes, we do. And a stagnant Ornn.
Yep.
We're gonna see some leashes coming out here soon. Both junglers starting bot side. Be interesting. Be a very top-oriented early game, it would seem.
Yep.
Both bot laners leaving it around the same time. Get the Vex. Ooh, that was very good timing on the Vex shield there, using the fear to stop the damage. Got a trade coming out top lane. This is what I was talking about, the Ornn into Volibear being a very aggressive lane for both tanks.
Yep.
Got a good grenade coming out from the Jhin, as well as a good returning boomerang. Got an early game pinged from the Echo, going top lane, potentially on the Ornn, or not being an extremely mobile champion. Volibear being able to follow up. See the Soraka hit with the binding, but it doesn't look like anything too bad's coming out. Some tough trades mid lane. Volibear getting aggressive on the Ornn, but the Ornn probably just gonna walk away. Echo looking to come top, trying to get an early level 2 gank off. It looks like the Ornn is being pushed back a little earlier than expected. Vex taking some risky trades with the LeBlanc, and LeBlanc actually making it pay off. See the Warwick passive going on top of Vex, but it looks like we got a gank top lane. The Echo missing the stun, but Ornn not left with a lot of room. Echo flashing, getting a few autos off, and finishing it off. That'd be first blood for blue side. That's really good. Echo's a fantastic champion to snowball and carry with. That could be very bad for red side, but it's too early to make a specific call on it.
Yeah.
See a very aggressive bot lane, a little more than I expected coming from blue side. That was a fantastic spell shield
That was.
from the Sivir's part. Good invade in top lane, pushing off the Warwick off of his buff, but if they're not careful, Ornn and LeBlanc could collapse. Soraka being very aggressive with her silences as opposed to saving them for engages. It's definitely helped pushing the lane off. Why don't you press tab and let's see how the farms are going. I also have to press tab on my own screen. Haha. So we see pretty even farm coming out from pretty much every lane here. The Jhin a bit ahead of the Sivir. Top lane going for another gank, hitting all the CC on the Ornn, but the Ornn having that unstoppable E makes it pretty easy for him to get away.
Yeah. Power dive would not be advisable right now.
No, I completely agree. Both of them being in good health, but Ornn is not one to take tower dives easily. This is a good route coming from the Soraka, but Sivir decides not to follow up with it. It's like a potential gank mid lane, force flash out of Vex. She's not giving up though. She knows her Echo is close behind. Getting some good poke off on the Warwick. Sivir taking a tower shot for a good boomerang hit. With that E damage coming out from the Volibear. Ooh, Ornn missing his dash into Q. So far, ooh, that was a good stop on back there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Still pretty even on the farm. Got the Jhin slowly starting to pull ahead of the Sivir, which is to be expected. Jhin is very good at farming, especially in an aggressive lane like this. And then you got the Volibear about 10 up on the Ornn, which is also expected because of how aggressive top lane is. But the difference isn't too big right now to make either lane super behind. Ornn is a level down though. 2 levels now actually. Volibear possibly, yeah. The real callouts of this game.
That's right.
Warwick ganked bot lane, that could be pretty bad. Oh, but he backed off. So usually when you see something like that, Elena,
Yeah.
you wanna, and the camera shifts away, that's when you usually wanna bring it back down. Not a big deal because nothing happened, but just some advice. Oh, Volibear diving the Ornn, missing the E though, but it might not matter. Oh, still taking the shower shot, but it was a 1-for-1 at the very least.
Yeah.
Ornn Volibear disabling the turret long enough for him to get the kill, but not long enough for him to stay alive.
Yeah.
Vex taking a risky trade with the LeBlanc. LeBlanc having ult up could end up killing the Vex here if she's not careful. The Warwick passive on Vex might even get some assistance. Seems like the Soraka backed bot lane. But the Sivir is not willing to go just yet. Definitely closing the farm gap. LeBlanc forcing the fear out of the Vex, and things are not looking good for Vex, but she misses the binding, and Vex might just get to walk away. Nope.
Not quite.
Nope, that last tick of Ignite got her.
Yep,
Close one, though.
definitely.
Vex got to be a little less aggressive, but it can be a little hard. You know, when you got your fear up and it's just one click away from stopping whatever could happen.
Yep.
Blanc into Vex is not an easy matchup, that's for sure. Ornn missing the Q, E combo, and Volibear are willing to take the trade, but Ornn is a lot tankier now. But that Volibear ear does a lot of damage. Very good trade from the Volibear there.
Very, very good.
Nice and safe, gaining lane pressure again. Looks like some potential posturing for the bot lane Dragon here. Ornn using ult to force Volibear off of him. Looks like we got a Dragon down bot lane. Jhin backing probably removes all need for them to counter push the Dragon. Vex roaming down as well. And we got an early Dragon coming out, but the game is still very even thus far, with only about 1,000 gold difference between the two teams, and it's 2-2 kill-wise. Dragon making the difference between it being even.
It's gonna be a close one.
It is so far. We see 2 kills coming out. So we got one on LeBlanc, one on Ornn, and then one on Echo, one on Volibear. Pretty solid across the board. Volibear being very aggressive with those waves, using his passive. The ult coming up soon might look for a dive on the Ornn. Ornn opting to back off, but it might be too late. Volibear, Volibear getting that Q off through the Ornn E, and that's just enough to kill him.
Like Sivir and Soraka are backing.
Yep, Jhin is freezing the wave, trying to deny as much farm from the Sivir as possible. Definitely the smart choice in this aggressive lane. Volibear taking a few tower shots, getting a little overzealous with farm. It's like some non-stop trading from the LeBlanc mid lane, but that was a very good fear coming out from Vex, but she's not following up on it very much. Using the passive to keep getting those stacks, but... Ooh, very good Q coming out.
Ah, nice.
Very good fight coming out from Vex, using her ult to close the gap from LeBlanc's weaknesses. And hitting that spear was crucial to winning that. Now she gets to push the farm, or the wave for free. See a fight coming out from Volibear and Ornn. Ornn forced to back off, not willing to take the fight, knowing that Echo was probably close by. Echo counter jungling Warwick here. Opting for the dive, knowing that Echo's very good at it, but forced to back. Yeah, got the... Ooh, Ornn ult, but it looks like Ornn missed his ult, going back onto the Echo, allowing him to escape. Good ult from the Warwick, stopping the dive kill. A lot of resources used, but no kill was gained. Jhin is pretty difficult to farm under turret with, so pushing it under turret can be pretty good for the blue side here. See a Rift Herald being taken top lane. Should be no pushback on this, as Ornn is behind and LeBlanc is not even going to attempt to. Looks like LeBlanc going for the roam bot lane, but Soraka just setting up that control ward will help push it back off. Red side pinging that there's vision, warning the LeBlanc not to take the trade. Good pings coming out across the map. Good communication from both teams so far. While blue team is ahead by about 3,000 gold, it is not a big enough deficit to call this game, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Ooh, that
Ooh.
was a good cue.
Good double stun coming out. Looks like Warwick coming behind. This could be the end of our bot lane here. Warwick using that fear, getting both of them walking back. Sivir getting hit with the binding. Soraka using all of her healing, but it's not enough. Soraka queuing to get the movement speed. Barely dodges the Jin W. Warwick chase is not something to be underestimated, though. That would be a double kill going onto the Warwick.
Unfortunate
Bit of a
end,
rough
but a good
bot
play.
Yeah, it was very good play, and Soraka did everything she could to keep her ADC alive, but it's not easy into that pressure.
Yeah, not by any means.
Yep. Ooh, good Jin W onto the Echo, saving the Morgana possibly. Morgana going back in though, right into the Echo ult though. So she ends up being damaged by it, but the Echo goes down anyway onto the LeBlanc, and Vex is looking to possibly get more. Looks like her ult did not get the reset, so she's in kind of a rough spot here. Warwick with that
Yeah.
fear, ruining any chance that she had at the 2v1, and looks like Ornn's getting aggressive again onto the Volibear, still a level down, but maybe just using it for poke. Ornn has a very interesting ult. Oh, but Ornn maybe committing to it, knowing that the Volibear is pretty weak, but the Volibear hitting a good E and that shield will be just enough to keep him alive for his vulnerable W to come back up.
Yep.
It's the kind of crazy plays you can do with Volibear right now, ever since the rework. So, yep. Red team definitely closing the gap, but other lanes are allowing them to trade. You can see it. Farm deficit, top lane has grown exponentially. You got the Volibear almost doubling the Ornn in farm. And the other lanes are still pretty close. The Vex out farming the LeBlanc by a little over 10, so about 2 waves. Echo really out farming the Warwick, but the Warwick having a lot more kills. Oh, maybe not a lot. 1 more kill. Got some aggression coming from the mid lane, missing the Echo W, not allowing the LeBlanc to be CC'd. She's dodging everything. But the Rift Herald will still hit and do some good damage to turret.
Yep.
Looks like it'll probably take it down, actually. Oh, maybe not. Echo going in, finishing it off, knowing that he's got his ult to get out. That's a good W, forcing the Warwick back off, and Vex being aggressive to keep the LeBlanc off of Echo. Looks like we've got a bot lane roam and a mid lane roam down to the Dragon, trying to push that Dragon League with the Warwick not either knowing or not trying to push it off, not worrying about it since it's only second Drake. So this being Chem, and we've already got Infernal, so it's not going to be either of those souls. Most recent preseason has added some interesting changes to the Rift, as they've added 2 new dragons and 2 new rifts here, but it looks like we're not getting either. Good old-fashioned Cloud Soul.
Yep.
Possibly speeding up those rotations coming out from mid, jungle, and bot. Very good poke coming out. LeBlanc walking into the E, but Vexy does not do a lot of damage.
He walks away with a sliver of health.
That she does. LeBlanc is slippery, even when you hit everything.
That's very true.
Got bot lane pretty even right now in terms of farm and in score. Maybe a little more gold on red side because of the assists, but overall both teams playing well. A lot of jungle pressure bot lane, making it a little difficult for either lane to be left alone for a bit. Volibear possibly getting this top turret, forcing the Ornn to back off, or just taking a fight. Ornn's not careful here, he'll die to the Volibear, using the E to get away, the increased distance while dashing towards the wall. Warwick coming up to help, but it looks like Ornn is going to sit back and ult. He hits it, good one, but Volibear uses it to dodge. Uses the Thunderbolt to come down, but doesn't get the shield in time. Echo
Here comes
being
Echo.
and flashing in, yep, getting the kill. Looking for more off of the LeBlanc, knowing he has ult, but not going to get too aggressive with it, knowing that LeBlanc is a slippery target. A lot of action top and mid. Bot lane still pushing, looking for those turrets. We got the new addition of objective bounties for red side, as they are about 4,000 gold down, so objective bounties will help red get back into the game if they're able to get a turret, a dragon, or Baron coming up here soon. Or actually Rift Herald. It's not time for Baron yet.
Well, look at you.
looks like they're gonna go for Rift Herald again.
Looks like it. You got Warwick pushing against the Vex, giving some room for red side to push against that Rift Herald, but don't know if they're going to. Rift Herald's up. Be a good opportunity for red to get some comeback gold. Thraka being queued under turret, but the minion saving her as she hasn't actually hurt anyone. Flashing away just to be safe, though. Warwick doing some ward clearing in the bot lane, looking for a gank. Looks like he's going to be coming in from behind as bot lane does not have anything. Sivir using the ult potentially in the way, but Soraka gets caught anyway. Looks like a teleport coming down from Volibear, making a smart choice. Bursting the Warwick, as Warwick is not very tanky yet, but getting hit by the Morgana binding. Sivir doing a lot of damage with that boomerang, but a counter teleport coming out from the ward. As it has reached 14 minutes, we do see the upgraded teleports coming out, another recent change. But another teleport coming out from the Vex, potentially using that ult to snipe one of the back line. Not going to use it just yet, but they forced the Morgana.
You got a Morgana.
That they did, they caught her. Ornn being very aggressive with his ults this game, even if they're not surmounting too much, but hey, we know that he can hit them, so we can use them when it counts, that's what matters.
That's true.
Morgana, or not Morgana, but Sivir. Sivir farming well in the bot lane, Vex being aggressive, but not surmounting to anything. So all three tier 1 turrets dropping for red side while no blue turrets have been taken.
Bliss. Only in the moment.
Lots of split pushing. Echo dropping the Rift Herald as it has recently been taken. Blanc doing a lot of burst, but Echo is pretty tanky with his ult.
Yeah.
Good damage on that turret. Going down probably at a later date, but it's in a position to where if LeBlanc goes down, so does the turret. Oh, they picked the right... Yep, they picked the right LeBlanc and they end up killing her.
Yep.
But they've got a full rotation from the rest of the team trying to stop this turret. We got Dragon coming up here soon. I gotta turn on the objective timers. Dragon coming up here in about 5 seconds or so. And the map is back to a peaceful situation right now as people are resetting, going back to farming. Blue team definitely aware that Drake is respawning. It looks like they might go for it here in a second. Morgana potentially pushing up to grant some vision, get the Volibear backing to maybe roam down. It's a good control ward coming up from Morgana, denying 2 wards there. Got 3v4 coming in the bot lane for this Dragon right now, with Soraka potentially being picked up by the LeBlanc here. Yep, LeBlanc does very high damage to squishy targets. Vex missing the ult. Morgana flashing for the ult, but only hitting the Echo. Echo flashing out. Or that's the Vex, not an Echo. Ooh, Echo doing a lot of damage and getting a very good ult, but being ult reversal by Warwick. 1 for 1. Or 1 for 2 in that fight, but blue side did get a Dragon. So overall, pretty good for blue side as they're now on soul point here. But Cloud Soul not being the most influential one in the game. Sivir walking into the Warwick, but the Warwick deciding to not engage on her. The smarter choice as Volibear was close behind.
Yeah.
Spell shield down from the Sivir here for a few seconds, putting her in a more vulnerable spot. Jhin, knowing not to get too aggressive as they have an Echo and a Vex on their team, prone to, well, assassinating the squishier members of the team.
Yep.
With little they can do. Potential kill on Sivir here, but Soraka coming just in time to give those heals. You do see a flash game though. Vex knowing that there's 2 people up there, but warding safely anyway, and just continuing to farm. Objective bounties are still up for red team, have not fallen just yet, but they have not been able to gain any of them. Looks like the bot lane are looking to get a little close to one of the turrets here, see if they can do anything about it, but they might not be able to.
Looks like Sipper and Soraka are on their way down.
Yep, they made the smart rotation there.
Definitely.
Got some action here in the top lane. Volibear jumping on the Ornn, but the Ornn probably being able to just walk away as he's pretty tanky at this game. But the Vex going with the hyper-aggressive plan, but it paying off. Warwick ulting Volibear, but it doesn't matter. Vex sniping all of those kills with LeBlanc taking a safe back off after doing some heavy damage. But she's coming back in, looking to potentially take out that Vex, but Volibear very good at zoning people off. Vex being a little over-aggressive here, potentially getting punished for it, but LeBlanc forced to back off. Vex pretty confident with that empowered E, or empowered W that she should be pretty strong. She's got her shield. Volibear stunned under turret. Looks like he might fall here. Yep, double ignite flash coming up from the enemy team. But bot lane is trading that for another turret. Very good trades from the blue team, knowing that when other members of their map are doing stuff, they need to be doing stuff elsewhere to counteract it. And they get another turret. So all 3 tier 2s have been taken from red side.
It's not looking so good for red side right now.
It is not. The gold deficit has been increasing slowly from 1 to 2k. Now we're up to 8k. Let's see.
Yep.
Red's not out of this just yet. Objective bounties still put a lot of gold in their pocket if they can take them, but they've got to really dig deep and go for those smart picks. Pick the smart fights.
Yep.
Pushing waves right now, trying to get some gold in those pockets. Get the Echo being aggressive on the Ornn. Too aggressive. LeBlanc roams up. Ornn does not take a lot of damage. He's just going to keep getting taken, but he's going for that maybe unnecessary but safe flash in case things go wrong. LeBlanc looking for some kills here with some Ornn help. Echo ult probably going to come out, but the Ornn ult is still perfectly on point.
Ooh.
Was looking good for the Ornn and LeBlanc, but Volibear coming out of nowhere to save them.
Yep.
LeBlanc forced to back off, even though there were some good opportunities there.
Would have
Echo
cost
being
her life.
saved. Yep, Echo being saved by the skin of his teeth. But that's what we take. Volibear being really aggressive on the turret, but it ends up working out as his ult does a lot of damage, and it'll just allow them to push for this first inhib. Super minions are an opportunity for red side to catch up, but might.
Like a Jin ult.
Yep, looks like a Jin ult hitting all 4 shots, but it doesn't matter. None of them really doing that much damage to Volibear, as it does more damage the lower health they are. Potential 4th and final dragon come out, but they've got red team has a lot of really good vision on this dragon. Let's see if they can make it work to their advantage. See both the Vex and the Volibear resetting. Echo a little low for this, but he's got his ult up to keep him back in a fight. Taking that blast cone just in case. Tons of vision on there using the Scryer's Bloom. Maybe in the wrong direction there. Could have cleared some wards, but they don't know that. Getting that control ward off the Drake, and it looks like red team's not even going to try to contest. They're just going to give the solo. Not necessarily a terrible choice considering Cloud Soul doesn't do that much, but it's still gold in the pocket of blue side.
Furthering their gap.
What did you say?
I said furthering the gap between
Pretty
the
much,
two
yep.
teams.
It's like Ornn finally used his passive. I say finally, like he could use it sooner, but when he gets to level 13, he gets to upgrade the mythic item of himself, and each level thereafter he gets to upgrade one of his teammates' items. So let's see if that will come into play. Pretty good items there coming out. You usually want to pick the carries on your team, so could be seeing a upgraded Ludens on the LeBlanc here, but it looks like, I didn't realize this before, but the Warwick is going an AP build, which is why he's so squishy, but he does a lot of damage. Not necessarily the build I expected to see coming out as Warwick is usually a tanky 85er, but
It's an interesting choice, that's for sure.
it's working. I mean, he's 5-2. It's not terrible,
Fair enough.
but one of their strengths of that team is now being taken down a little bit by it. But playing a little more of a burst character. Looks like they're going to go for this pretty safe Baron here. It's a bit slow, but it doesn't matter as red team doesn't really have the opportunity to contest. The Echo having full control over objectives the entire game, not giving red team any chance to steal. Taking this smart reset here, and they're probably going to look to push either mid or bot lane, trying to get those other inhibs, really putting that pressure on red team. It's not looking good. The gap has increased to about 9 to 10k here. With Elder coming up in about 4 minutes, red team is put on a timer here.
Yep.
They really got to try to get some objectives here and decrease that gold lead. Otherwise, they are pretty much out of this game.
But we got another one after this, so we'll see if they
That
learn
we
their
do,
lesson.
guys. We do have a second game. So all is not lost. Warwick potentially being taken out by the Volibear here, but it looks like the Warwick uses his flash and a blast cannon to get away. But blue team is just all over the red side base, taking those inhibs very quickly as Sivir and Echo are great at taking them. Or not hitting anyone with his ult. Potentially costing a very good engage. Jhin ult coming from the middle, some good damage on the Volibear.
Ooh, might kill him.
Morgana Soil finishes him off, but Vex going in very aggressive, looking for those ult resets, but hit by the Morgana Q, but using a very well-timed either Zhonya's or stopwatch.
Yep.
Ooh, missing that Vex Q, but hitting the E, killing the Jhin out of his Gale Force. It's 3 for 1. Not looking good for red side. This might be game right here. The Sivir just killing those turrets and doing that good damage, and the Vex keeping everyone off of her. Looks like this is gonna be first game. Are they gonna get an ace here? Nah, Morgana's gonna play it safe, not giving them the satisfaction. And that looks like OHVA is gonna be the winner of the first scrim.
Very good game for both sides.
Absolutely. The early game was very strong from both sides, playing to their advantage, and blue team really used their ability to snowball to keep that lead, and using that objective pressure to really force the game into their position. So
Yep.
I think we're going to take a quick break, everyone, and we'll be back for the second game. So
All right.
we'll see you here in a bit. Alright, welcome back everyone.
Welcome to game 2. We'll see if this ends any differently than the first one. It should be
Oh,
interesting.
I gotta mute the stream.
Hey, never pick a fight you
Alright,
can't
so
win.
we've got a set ban coming out from Blue Side, which is now Private Academy,
Playtime's over.
as opposed to OHVA, and OHVA is on Red Tide. So Ari ban coming out for the mid laner, and a set ban coming out for OHVA's top laner. Take a little bit here, but alright. Hecarim going on a ban for the jungler, and Ezreal going on a ban for the ADC.
Impure fools.
Vayne ban coming out against the bot lane. Pretty big variety in bans. Champions we're used to seeing on OHVA, and champs I assume that Private Academy plays a lot.
The joke's on you!
Shaco ban coming out. It's fair. Shaco can be a very irritating champion to go against. Pretty good champion if you know how to play him well.
Yep. Now we got our first couple picks.
Yep, we get the first 3 picks on each team.
Yep. Irelia. Interesting
Irelia?
choice.
Very good top laner. Has been since her rework, pretty much,
Yep.
into a Malphite. Malphite, you know, I don't know Malphite matchup super well, but I do know that Aurelia is a lane bully and can be very aggressive into tankier picks.
Yeah. Malphite is a tank from what I've seen.
Yep. It's either that or he goes AP, and Aurelia will kind of have a field day with an AP Malphite
Yeah.
if Malphite's not careful. But it could go either way. We got a Wukong pick coming out and a potential Echo coming out from the enemy team. Hovering Olaf now.
Got another Warwick.
Yep, Warwick seems to be kind of a comfort pick coming out. Don't know much about jungle matchups, not gonna lie, so I don't know how Warwick goes into Wukong, but I imagine Warwick is probably really aggressive. Wukong is good at bursts. It depends on the Warwick builds.
Yeah.
Maybe a Mordekaiser top lane, could be an Aurelia mid.
And Kali.
Being that a colleague coming out, comfort pick for JVR there, that's for sure. See, last 2 bans coming out from each team. Probably going to see a focus on bot lane bans for both teams, as those have not been picked yet. Yep, there goes a Yuumi. Sure, you know all about how influential Yuumi can be.
She's one of my favorite champions to play. She's really fun. She provides a lot of healing, but she's very squishy when she's off her champion.
Yeah, it is true. It's a little fly sometimes, hard to swat. Sivir ban coming out makes sense, considering Sivir was a very strong pick last game.
Yeah.
My genius will be understood.
Jhin ban coming out,
Eventually.
as that also makes sense, because that's what was played last game.
Yep. So we got a whole new ADCs.
Yep, that is true. We'll see if... I imagine a Morgana will come out if not banned, but I can't see them banning their own Morgana away.
Yeah.
Morgana, a very good pick. Always a good champion. That
What must be
hour-long route.
That's
Looks
very
like we're-
true.
Looks like we're gonna see a new bot lane coming out from OHVA's side, as both of their previous champions have been banned.
Not a bad decision on their part, as we saw how good they did last time.
Absolutely, yes. Soraka and Sivir does have a lot of pressure. Caitlyn coming out. Makes sense. Caitlyn is very good in the meta right now. Very aggressive laner. Able to poke from afar, similar to Jhin.
Similar to
Jinx
Ezreal.
coming out. Very true. Very similar to Ezreal. Jinx coming out into a Seraphine. Very aggressive bot lane there. Seraphine being less on the supporty side, more like a Morgana or a Lux. Lots of damage and CC.
Yep.
See what comes out. That was the last pick here. Nico coming out, another champion similar to Lux and Morgana. Not really any supportive abilities coming out from Nico, but you don't necessarily need that to be a support,
That's
as
true.
we've learned.
She provides a lot of pressure in lane. Her roots can be very
Absolutely.
annoying.
That is 100% true. She's got a lot of CC, and her passive makes things very tricky. And for those who don't know, Nico likes to turn into other champions. She makes herself look like other champions. So
Which can be a very scary thing if you're playing bot lane. You see a Malphite coming down.
exactly, yes. It can be very confusing if the Nico uses it properly. So it's gonna depend. So here in a few minutes, we'll probably go to intermission again. So we can wait the 3-minute timer out, since there's not much we can do to speed that up.
That's true.
And since we didn't have technical difficulties this time, we got to talk through Champion Select. So not much to add, to be perfectly honest.
That's
So
true.
I think we're going to go intermission, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
All right.
Alright. Alright, welcome back, everyone.
We're getting into the game.
That we are. Got the loading screen, more fancy skins. Fancy skins.
Yep, Winter Wonderland Nico. Battle Academia Caitlyn.
Yep, another signed IG skin coming out.
She must be
I
really
got
proud.
I mean, absolutely, yes.
Yep.
I got that promotional Arcane Jinx from the series. If you've not checked it out, I highly suggest it. It's really good.
It is really good. I've seen it. I binged it in one day.
Yeah, it's very, very good. You got 5 hours or so to spare, you know.
Yeah.
But alright, we're getting into the game. Let's see. Some pretty standard choices. The Nico not picking up a support item. That could be trouble. For those that don't know, support items, if you don't have one while playing a support, you are unable to gain gold off of your ADC killing a minion. So if they don't realize this mistake in time, this could spell bad for Nico, losing a lot of gold out of the bot lane. But it looks like we're going to see an invade. Aurelia potentially seeing them walk through the jungle, but might not be paying attention. They're not going to find anyone as they're not sitting under buff, and Warwick looks like is starting top lane. I think they're still going to sit there and wait for someone to come, but I don't know if anyone is. It might be the Wukong taking the red buff as a potential to steal. But it looks like they're just going to back off anyway. Little late to do anything about the no support item. Just gotta wait till they get a little bit of extra gold on the Nico for her to sell the item, as items don't sell for their full value, so that tier is not gonna sell for as much as it cost.
Yep.
And it is a pretty expensive item. At least at first. So I was right. We are going against an Aurelia mid lane, which makes more sense as the Malphite pick into the Mordekaiser will be a better matchup than into the Aurelia. It's like no leash was given by either of the bot lanes, allowing a more aggressive start. Kali being behind the Aurelia, missing the E on her, flipping to a minion instead. Just a stylish way to pick up some CS, I suppose.
CS with a flare.
Absolutely the best kind. Some interesting poke coming out from the bot lane. I say interesting, but it's really not. It's just a woman on a saucer singing.
This is very true. Her pink hair is what gives it flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Not the most interesting champion in the league, but, you know, you make it work.
She has her perks.
Absolutely, yes. Looks like Aurelia hitting a very good E on the Akali, but Akali does a lot of burst damage early. JVR definitely knows how to use that to his advantage. Like I said earlier, it's definitely a comfort pick for him.
Definitely.
We got some pressure. Malphite into Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser's pretty weak early on, but late game he does a lot of damage. Ooh, Seraphine living with a sliver of health. But if Botlane's not careful, that Warwick passive is going to get them killed. Warwick on his way bot lane, as you can see. Those who don't know, Warwick passive makes you speed up and chase champions that are very low health easier. Wukong tanking the turret for Kali there, but we got another fight bot lane. Said Warwick came bot and was able to push up. Not able to secure the Nico, but they did get the Caitlyn. Making it a 1-for-1 across the map, but it looks like red side got first blood, and in doing so got the extra gold associated. Both first bloods having to do with the jungler, though, so
That's true.
it's interesting. Kali is not great at farming early. She does not get a lot of energy to deal with, and her Q is quite expensive. A main farming tool. Lots of fighting going on top lane. Potential gank coming out from the Aurelia, but looks like she's just clearing river a little bit. Wukong topside coming to take that Rift Scuttle. Scuttle Crab recently nerfed, so not as important as an objective. Has changed the meta a lot. Looks like Aurelia's still trying to push for it, as the Wukong's only level 3 if she plays it well. Oh, but she misses the E and does not get to steal it. Lives with like 10 HP. It's a little difficult. It's a slippery thing to take.
Yep.
Thing dodges skill shots better than most people I play against. See the wave pushing towards the Malphite, which is probably what he wants here, as Mordekaiser is kind of a lane bully. Not relying on mana. Surprised we're not seeing any ganks coming out mid lane, but Akali's not an easy champion to gank. Aurelia stopping the wave from reaching her turret so she can farm in peace. Akali doing a nice ward there to potentially stop it. The Aurelia getting a good EOP, but she does not do enough damage to counteract the Akali's burst. Akali getting a kill here, maybe? Just barely missing it, but the resistance is coming from the W on Aurelia's part. Warwick chasing her down. She might still have this as Akali does a lot of damage, walks away, picks up that passive. Warwick just decides it's best to back off for now, giving the Akali more time to get her skills back up. Once that shadow comes up, she'll be in a good position, but she's just going to back instead of going for the fight. Aurelia's going to get some free farm mid lane. It's like pretty calm bot lane right now. Caitlyn good at pushing them off, but Jinx is doing really good with the farm, keeping up, only about 5-6 minions behind. Trying to get a lot of poke on the Seraphine, but Seraphine's empowered shield there makes her take not a lot of damage.
One of the benefits of the girl in the flying saucer singing.
Yes. Who would have thought?
Not me, that's for sure.
Me neither. Seraphine being a little aggressive, potentially walking into a Wukong here. She's not sure what she's doing. Don't know if she was looking for a ward but didn't have it up, but it looks like a kill's going to go on for the Caitlyn. Very good roam there. Bit of a risky play. I don't know if Seraphine was going for a deep ward and just didn't have one up. Realized a little too late. Aurelia going to try to fight. Has ult, doesn't decide to use it. Got an early dragon once again. OHVA on that objective pressure constantly. Very important part of the game. Got Warwick coming top. Malphite doing a lot of damage. Not enough mana to ult away, it looks like. Oh, now he does. He's going to use it if he needs it, but it doesn't look like he needs it. He gets away just fine with only having to use his flash. Really being aggressive, but Akali being just as aggressive and doing more damage in the process. Caitlyn low on mana, but her autos do a lot of damage even still. Malphite waiting for the Mordekaiser to either get low or to ult him, as Malphite ult does make him unstoppable. Bot lane being very aggressive with low mana. Looks like they might just back off here as they have no vision on the Warwick. Akali potentially looking for a trade there, but nope. Aurelia's kind of a slippery target. Malphite playing a bit of a dangerous game top lane. Staying for so long, but their minions are pushed up to his turret, so it's not too risky. Warwick on the bot side means that Malphite doesn't be too careful, but Warwick is much better duelist than Wukong is early game, but he's going to back off as Akali comes to support his jungler. Malphite making the smart choice to back off top lane, letting Mordekaiser free farm for a little bit. We don't see a big farm difference. In fact, actually, the Malphite is ahead of the Mordekaiser by about a wave. Seems like overall red team is a little bit higher up.
Yep, looks like Caitlyn is ahead of the Jinx on farm as well.
Yep, by a pretty decent margin.
Yep.
Looks like we're just under a 1,000 gold lead coming from red side OHVA here. Not enough to make a difference, but enough to start leading into some issues late game if blue team doesn't come back. Malphite definitely taking this brawl top lane. Being surprisingly tankier than expected. Looks like he might be going the tank build here as he picked up 2 ruby crystals instead of a more aggressive, like, tome or something. Bot lane being super aggressive. Nico doing a lot of poke, but it looks like the Aurelia is going to go on the Malphite, but the Malphite makes a beautiful ult Q combo, walks away with the extra speed and immove. You know, I'm just gonna stop. I'm stuttering.
All in all, he lived, which is very
Oh
impressive.
yeah,
on his
exactly.
part.
There you go. Sometimes less is more.
That's great.
Looks like Akali coming in, probably gonna get a kill here, maybe 2. Oh,
Looks like we got a tower dive.
very good tower dive coming out, pretty safe.
Yep. Ooh.
Warwick coming back in. Nico not able to do enough damage to outweigh the Warwick ult, but ends up finishing off anyway, making it a 1-for-1 bot lane. Wukong a little risky on the Gromp here, but he's a jungler and he's got enough healing to make it work. Caitlyn respawn, gonna head back bot lane. Just do it a quick recall, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Why wait 8 seconds when you can wait 15?
Exactly. It's strategical backing.
Exactly. You can buy your items in peace.
That's right.
It's alright. It's a little hard to avoid Warwick ganks. Only so much you can do about it, especially when you're half health.
Yeah.
Once you see him, it's usually too late on wards. You gotta deep ward a lot against a Warwick. Looks like Warwick's top side pressure. Looks like it might be a collapse onto the Rift Herald, which the Wukong is currently taking. Malphite not roaming down just yet. Looks like we got a teleport from the Akali and Malphite's roaming down to help out. Wukong still at half health and doing pretty good. And Rift Herald's not in a big risk of being taken as it's way more than half HP. Malphite chasing a little too deep without his team, but he makes a smart play and backs off. We see the Akali and Wukong getting a kill on the Mordekaiser.
Looks like we're back at Rift Herald.
Yeah, we are. They made a good collapse, but split up a little bit too much there with the Mordekaiser following behind the Malphite instead of around in the jungle.
Mm-hmm. Good back prevention on Akali.
Absolutely. Warwick pinging to go bot lane, and he is going to make use of that, but a very good net shot coming out from the Caitlyn, allowing her to get away with no issue, because that slow is pretty rough. Seraphine hitting a good E, but not the empowered E, so it did not stun or root. Seraphine using her ult, but missing, very unfortunate, as that probably would have been a double kill, since Warwick was coming back down. Well, unfortunate for their team anyway.
Yeah.
Gold lead has jumped from a little under 1,000 to little under 3,000, actually. Still very much comebackable. I don't think that's a word.
If they put a little work in, they can come back, but it may prove problematic.
Exactly. Objective bounties are here to help that, though, so it all depends on if they can get those turrets and objectives. Rift Herald being dropped mid lane to get some turret plates before they fall here in a couple minutes, or minute and a half.
Yeah.
Dragon being taken in the bot lane. Jungle and bot lane helping a lot with that. Aurelia trying to keep the Akali and the Rift Herald off the turret, but it's not easy. She's going to go in with the Warwick here, and it looks like Akali's in a bit of a rough spot. She gets stunned out of the Shroud and is killed because of it. Kong might look for a bit of an aggressive play, but he's 2 levels down to the Aurelia, and if he gets caught out, could be rough. Warwick misses that ult, which in turn probably ends up missing the kill. Wukong almost kills him, but it's alright. Malphite getting a good kill on the Mordekaiser here, keeping him behind. Mordekaiser can be a big deal if strong.
Definitely.
And Malphite is doing a great job at keeping him behind. See the Aurelia out farming the Akali by a lot, but the Akali doing very good on the roaming, trying to make up for that farm in kills. Say about 15 CS is a kill in terms of gold, so Akali might be slightly ahead still, but overall they're pretty close. See both the blue team top and jungle a little behind on CS, but Warwick having 2 kills balances it out with the Wukong. Akali probably going to get one last plate here before they drop at 14 minutes, flipping out of the way, but really hitting a very good E. Akali, though, her burst damage is insane. Is she going to go for the tower dive? She is. It ends up biting her back for it, though.
Yep, unfortunate.
Aurelia, with those 4 stacks on her passive, does do a lot of healing and is surprisingly more tankier than you would expect. We see the empowered lethal tempo on 3 champions, which is a keystone. The yellow dagger-looking one. Oh, we got a disconnect coming from the Seraphine, though. That might not be good. We'll see if she comes back. That might spell disaster for the blue team, who's gotten some good opportunities to catch back up here in a second.
Looks like we got a 4,000 gold difference even right now.
That we do. Looks like Malphite picking up his Mythic, which will in turn probably make Mordekaiser pretty weak against him. Mordekaiser only has a blasting one. Anyway, so not doing a lot of damage yet overall. Hasn't gotten it back yet. Malphite doing a lot. Mordekaiser ulting him to steal some of his stats and maybe making him on his own territory, but it's not enough. Malphite just using the ult to finish him off, just in case. Probably for the best, though. Giving Warwick no time to catch up. We see Nico finally having the support item. Don't know when she picked that up, but based on the fact that she has her crown, it seems like she picked it up pretty early on. Glad they noticed that. Seraphine still AFK, not a good sign for blue side here. Looks like we're not going to see any pauses coming out, because I think they can do that in tournament draft, but I'm not sure. Malphite being very aggressive in the top lane, might be able to get this turret before Mordekaiser gets there, but it's going to be a close one. Kali also being aggressive, not wanting to go into that turret to try and finish that turret off.
I don't blame her after last time.
Exactly, yep. Live and you learn.
Yep.
See Crown coming out, very strong item. For those that don't know, Crown is a good item on AP mages, makes you very tanky for the first few seconds. You see that little bubble around her. That bubble will protect her about 90% damage reduction for a short time once she gets hit. The Wukong being dove, lots of CC coming out. Very smooth play coming out from the Akali, but we see a rocket being shot from the Jinx. Might make a small difference. Relia's not out of this yet. She's got a lot of healing, and Akali's not got any energy or abilities to do anything, and Aurelia ends up pulling it off.
That was a lot of words in a couple seconds.
Yeah. Makes it easier when you are a little more experienced with those two champions, as opposed to Vex and LeBlanc.
That is true.
But hey, that's my problem, not theirs, so. Aurelia looking for the behind on the bot team. Definitely can get some stuff out of this. Starting to get her passive stacks up. Very good E from the Nico and net shot coming out. Ignite coming out just to stop that. Grievous wounds applied. End up able to pick the Aurelia off. Caitlyn doing a lot of damage with those auto attacks. See if she can finish her off in time. Yep, Warwick's coming down, but hit by a trap. Not good. We got the Akali teleporting in there to save the Caitlyn from being dove even harder by the Warwick.
Overall, a very good fight for the red team.
Yep, we finally see some all chats coming out. Asking for a pause, maybe. Don't know if one's going to come out though. Bit late for the pause now. Gold lead is increased to pretty much exactly 7k. It looks like the Seraphine will not be back. It'll be a 4v5 for the rest of the game. Bit unfortunate. But hey, I've won tougher matches, so I won't count them out just yet. A few mistakes from the blue or from the red side, and things could go pretty bad.
They just gotta play it smart, and it's winnable.
Yep. Some ward clearing coming out from Wukong. We've got a 3 to 4 person push mid lane, which is usually the smart way. Objective bounties are up for blue side, so they do have a lot of comeback gold they can get. Good fear coming out from the Warwick, but it's not enough to keep him alive.
The Jinx understandably backed off.
Yep, very good choice. A little late on this call, but we do get to see one of the new elemental rifts. This one is Hextech Rift, adding some cute little hex gates, aka portals, around the map. Relatively uninfluential, but fun to use at the very least.
Just like anything, if used right, it could be useful.
Exactly. A potential dive coming out here. It ends up working out 1-for-1 trade. I'd say it was about worth for both sides there. Neither of them had a bounty, so both get some free money. But
Always
it looks like red team will make it more worth by pushing this turret now that there's no one to defend it. Caitlyn getting a headshot on a turret. Cool little animation there. You
Even
didn't
though
know
a
that was
turret has no
possible.
head, but we don't talk about it.
They have a head. It's just, you know, they're not alive. Like,
Fair
that's
enough.
the bigger issue. At least not that I know of.
That's
Some
true.
very aggressive plays coming out from the red side here. Taking some turret shots for the Nico to escape. Aurelia back up though, their main carry right now. Mordekaiser's still pushing that top lane, trying to get that objective bounty on that turret, but not able to as Malphite is checkmating him at every opportunity. Gold deficit this game is pretty rough in all lanes except for the mid lane, where it is actually flip-flopped. Blue team has the lead on the Akali. Aurelia definitely doing a lot of the heavy lifting for her team in terms of damage. Everyone else kind of being a little bit of utility, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Gotta peel for the person that's carrying you.
That's true.
See the AP Warwick build coming out again. We can see one of the portals being used. Caitlyn taking an aggressive stance. Looks like she's going top lane to help push. It's like going to be another tier 2 potentially coming up, but Aurelia coming up being hyper aggressive. Good Nico ult coming out. Ends up getting the Aurelia killed. Akali potentially cleaning up, but not a lot of energy or abilities left to use. E coming out, finishing off the Akali, or the Jinx. See if the Mordekaiser is able to do anything. Caitlyn pushing that mid lane though, getting objectives elsewhere while people are busy. Mordekaiser not paying her any mind. Akali still thinking she's got it with the Rift Maker she's got, but she misses the E. Mordekaiser also
Nice.
has his Rift Maker, but the Electrocute will finish him off. Getting that inhib in the mid lane, and it's looking like Red Team is trying to close out this game. About a 10k gold deficit, a little under. Caitlyn gonna back off now that Blue Team has mostly respawned.
We got an immortal shield bow on the Aurelia. A good choice.
Very good choice, keeping her alive for longer, that extra. Lifesteal will be super useful for those prolonged fights, but we do see Grievous Wounds coming out from multiple champions on the enemy team, namely the Akali and the Caitlyn, picking up the Executioners, calling in the Oblivion Orb for those Grievous Wounds effects, stopping the healing as much as they can. Looks like the bot lane is pushing up. Got the Caitlyn potentially being caught out here.
Very good
Using
flash.
her flash to get away. Yep, Aurelia also forced a flash. That shot almost gets her away, but the Aurelia W finishes her off. Wukong doing a lot of damage though, and the Akali able to finish off. Akali failing that flash over the wall. It's a difficult one. Wukong using the second cast of Cyclone, but not getting anything but minions from it. Looks like they're gonna rotate around, try to use that mid wave. Push a little hard. Pushing up to those Nexus turrets. Wukong getting a little aggressive. Akali getting some kills. Warwick missing that ult by a lot. Akali doing a lot of the damage on that team. And it looks like they might be able to just finish the game off here.
Unless Aurelia can pull off a miracle.
Yeah, I've seen it happen, but she misses the ult, and the Malphite is going to stop her from moving. Then Nico is going to stop her from moving. You know, Aurelia's just not having a good time at that CC.
Yeah.
It's like that's going to be the second game, everybody. 2 wins in OHVA's favor.
Very well played by both sides. Unfortunate that Seraphine had to leave, but it was a good game overall.
Yep, sometimes it happens, you know?
Yep.
Not much you can do about it. Alright guys, well thank you for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
All right.